To go back, I forgot something in the last video that I should have mentioned, and I just remembered it. Sorry for this, but when uh, Korra and Mako confront Amon about being a bloodbender and exposing him for a fraud that he is, apparently Amon has captured Tenzin and his family. Somehow they did not get away after all. And they're tied, Tenzin and the children, the airbending children, Ikki, Janora, and Milo, are all tied up, awaiting execution, as it were. I like that. They're awaiting execution because basically it kind of is execution for them. They're if you've seen Tano, I mean, he just becomes like, kind of like a zombie of what a shell, a husk of what they once were as benders if they get their bending taken away. So anyway, Tenzin and them are all tied up, ready to have their bending taken away when Korra makes her shout out and confronts Amon that he's a fraud, and of course he removes his mask and to prove that his story's true because his face looks all scarred, as if a firebender really did burn his face off, sort of, and they proceed to have a battle, and Korra uses some distraction to be able to untie Tenzin and the kids and get them away safely, and then resume going and helping Mako attack Amon. And Amon corners them in a part of the arena where I guess where the kind of like the weightlifting room, but for bending, that area where Mako, or where where they are seen training in earlier episodes, and he inevitably, because they're alone and he thinks that nobody is around, Amon does use his blood bending against the pair, and the lieutenant shows up and sees them being blood bent and feels betrayed and turns on him, only to be cast aside by blood bending and vicious attacks of Amon. So I'm kind of looking forward to the lieutenant joining Korra's side and in season 2, or maybe kind of, because he's always been the lackey, becoming the new villain and continuing on Amon's work because he really believed in the anti-bending movement. So Korra gets her bending taken away, all the bending that she possesses at the time, fire, water, and earth, but gains the ability to airbend. Now, this is very interesting, and I kind of knew this was kind of going to happen. It's like if Amon did get a hold of her, that she would either one of two things. She was either going to learn how to airbend and get away, or she was going to go into the Avatar state and bust some crap up. So she's able to airbend and help Mako, who's extremely talented as a firebender and as a lightning bender, is able to resist Amon's bloodbending enough to lightning bend Amon, which stuns him for a moment, and they proceed to try to get away But Amon again catches them and bloodbends them again in a corridor. Uh, but the pair fight back, and um, she manages to airbend Amon out a window where he falls into the water that's outside the arena, where there's witnesses milling about, and they're like, "Oh, it's the evil Avatar, you know. How dare she attack Amon, our leader? He's a great man, you know, blah, blah, blah." And Amon, being a bloodbender and a waterbender, you know, self preservation kicks in, and he waterbends himself into one of those waterbending twister, you know, spiral thing that the Korra herself knows how to do. Um, and he's exposed for being a fraud and being a waterbender. And, you know, we see actually his scar really is fake, and it kind of melts off. It must be just plain war paint that was really well done. And Korra and Amon go at it again. And this time Korra has the upper hand because she's just really just going blasting him with all that she has airbending wise, and just you know, doing all she can to stop Amon. And Amon retreats to the airbending island where he's made his base, and makes his way to where Tarlok is locked up. Now Tarlok, as I've said, is really Amon's brother, and though that they've had their differences, you know, they're still brothers, and they're still, you know, what they are as brothers, and they still care for each other, and they were, and Amon is apparently sorry that, you know, things went the way they did, and you know, asked for forgiveness from Tarlok for taking his bending away, which Tarlok seems willing to do, and they make their escape. And that's kind of the end of the episode, really. Korra, well, that's not the end of the episode. That's the end of those pair. They go off, and we get switched to back to Korra, who has made her way back to her home in the Southern Water Tribe, where amazingly enough, Katara is still alive. She did not die after the fourth child was born, which was a little bit of a disappointment, not a big one. I'm kind of glad that Katara is still alive, but for those that were hoping that the fortune tellers from the first series, if you remember her, what's her, Aunt Wu is her name, her prediction of Korra passing in her sleep after fourth grandchild, before her fourth grandchild was born, did not come true. So that's one thing that was kind of a disappointment, but kind of happy at the same time. So we see her trying to heal Korra. Can't be done. Korra goes off to have a good cry, and in doing so, she's able to spiritually connect. And who shows up? Aang. Aang shows up to give her advice, and she gets into the Avatar state, and his spirit, Aang's spirit, returns to her bending, and it was kind of like a happy ending. But at the very last moment, we see Tarlok and Amon getting away on a boat, going someplace, and there's chi blocking equipment and electro gauntlets on the boat, several of them, and Tarlok uses one while his brother is navigating the ship. Amon is steering the ship. He uses the gauntlet and opens the gas tank for the boat and uses it and apparently blows them up, and that's kind of the end of the season. And we don't know. We assume that the pair of them are dead. We don't know. Korra's back. She's got everything. She's got airbending. She's now a fully baked avatar. And it seems like this is the end, but there's still season. We know that there is a confirmed season 2, and we don't know exactly what's going to happen. I really think that the lieutenant is going to take the reins of this anti-bending movement and be the new kind of villain for the next season. And we don't know really what happens with Hiroshi Sato, but we don't know. I think he either gets away or he's now a prisoner of war. But anyway, we're hoping to see more goodness for next season, and that's your review. And good job, Bright, for making such a great and awesome series. Hope to see you next season. Take care. Bye.